All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. You know what time it is. It is time for the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw Modified Series, live here from the Martinsville Speedway, nestled in Martinsville, Virginia. I am Wes the Mess. We're going to be here live, bringing you race number 3 on the 3rd season of the 2018 year. And looking at our practice time so far, J.R. Shepherd proving his dominance once again. Still hasn't got that win so far this season. Charles Lahr, last week's winner in that 4-car, in second, as practice is getting ready to wrap up here in just a few short minutes. It's been a pretty interesting... Yep, that's about it. I saw what my producer thing said. It's been a pretty interesting season so far here. 2 races. 200-lap races down into the books. Seeing a couple of new faces, or familiar faces, coming back for this week. Ben Izinga in that 17 machine. He's out here. Actually, he's still in the pit lane. John Hine as well. He's currently 7th on the board, and Ben Izinga. Going to look for a couple of guys out here on the racing surface. There's last week's winner, the 4-car Charles Lahr. So unfortunately, Dylan had to take care of some things tonight, so he will not be joining me in the booth, unfortunately. But we are here for another 100-lap race here at Martinsville. Of course, race number 3 on the season. Been a season of ups and downs so far. J.R. Smith, though, or Shepherd, excuse me. He has been a consistent driver so far. We're looking at his lap times. He's got a good 2/100ths of a second advantage over Lahr, who was sitting in second on the practice charts. But it's all going to come down to tires here. Martinsville, very well known, very well loved by many. So the paperclip going to prove to be a challenge here. It looks like we only have about 10 or 11 drivers out here tonight for this race. Car count kind of coming a little bit down, but still will provide for a lot more green flag action. And even if you're new to the service, you already know what Martinsville is, what it can do to these drivers. A lot of anger here has been brewed at the Martinsville Speedway in years past. Not too sure on how these drivers are going to be. It seems like throughout the first 2 weeks of the season, they've been pretty nice to one another, pretty adamant about, you know, trying to get a race win and everything. And hopefully tempers do not flare up too much here tonight. Donnie Moore out making a couple of last-minute adjustments as time is winding down here for our practice session. We're going to head straight into the grid after the checker flag waves for this warm-up session. And it looks like Todd Liston, the only other driver still left out on the track there in that 87. Looks like a Pepsi machine there. A lot of interesting paint schemes out here. A lot of interesting drivers. They're all going to be chasing J.R. Shepherd here if he can get to the front of the pack. Cannot count out anybody else, though. You know, Kurt Smith is out here. John Hine. Let's see. Like I said, Ben Izinga out here on the grid we go. Going to let these guys load in here on the front stretch and run down our starting grid for tonight's 100-lap race. 11 drivers on the grid, and we're just waiting on third or fourth place there. So here we go. We got Donnie Moore going to start out of the pole position here tonight in that 26 machine. Alongside him is going to be the 5 of Lowell Jewell. Kenny Kibbe in the 14 car going to start out of position number 3, and in 4th is going to be the 6 car of Kurt Smith. Back behind him we do have J.R. Shepherd and Brian Den, the 98 and 23 respectively. Charles Lahr in the 4 car. Going to start out of position number 7. It is outside the 04 of Chip Dickert. Todd Liston, the 87 machine, going to start alongside the 17 of Ben Izinga in that 5th row. And rounding out the field here is going to be the 75 car of John Hine. Oh, one more lap to go here under the iRacing pace car. Pace car is going to make a hard left-hand turn into the pits here on the back straightaway. As we get set to go, green flag racing for the 3rd time here this season. Again, Donnie Moore on the front row alongside of Lowell Jewell. The 26 has command of the field now, rolling through turn number 4, coming to the front stretch for the first time tonight.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out, and we are underway here at Martinsville. Pretty even start throughout the field. You see the bottom actually getting a lot more speed here. Lowell Jewell, though, he's falling back, getting passed by J.R. Shepard to his inside there, the 5 car. Already heading towards the back of the pack. We saw him last week. He had a pretty good run starting in the beginning of the race. Not so much here in Martinsville. Already back to 5th. The 6 car. Got Kurt Smith all the way back here in 9th position. Smacked the wall coming out of turn number 2 last time around. Back up front, Kenny Kibbe has a little bit of a gap between him and our race leader in that 26 of Donnie Moore. J.R. Shepard putting pressure on the back side of that 14 car as we're going to complete lap 2. Bring us to lap number 3, top 4, a little bit of a breakaway. Jewell in the 5 car, still back there in that 5th position. Pretty decent lap times being thrown down by all competitors. Fastest car on the track last time was actually Brian Denback here, the 23 car. He had a pretty good lap that last time around. Pretty much a lot of follow the leader so far here tonight. Donnie Moore still out front and leading every single lap so far. Green flag still in the air. And it's pretty much all single file now. Go on board with Charles Lahr, last week's winner, as he's looking at the battle in front of him for that 2nd position. You got the 98 car, J.R. Shepard up high, Kenny Kibbe on the bottom. Looks like the 98 is going to take that spot as we're watching it out of the front of this number 4 car. J.R. Shepard trying to get that race lead early. It's kind of bitten him the last 2 weeks. He sat there and followed the leader for a majority of the race and could never get up there to make the pass and make it work. So we're going to see a different strategy out of this 98 car here tonight. I can guarantee that. Well, actually, was going to look towards the back of the pack, but it does look like Shepard is trying to get a run on Moore. He's definitely closed the gap back up, and they're starting to make a gap between themselves and 3rd position. Kibbe almost falling victim to Charles Lahr here the last couple of turns. Lap 9 in the books here as the field runs off of turn number 4. Benazinga's not exactly having a great night here as we just see him scrape the wall. On the front stretch, the 17 really struggling here tonight. Already almost 6 seconds behind our leader, as you can see there on the ticker. He's fallen pretty far off the rear of John Hine. He could be in danger of going a lap down in another handful of laps or so. Back up to the battle up front, though. The 26 Donnie Moore leading every single lap so far. Still early in the race as well. 98. You can see him trying to run a different line in these turns. You can see him entering a lot higher than most of these drivers. 26, almost to the curb there in the turns as he dives it back into turn 1 here. Trying to get to the curb. The 98 trying to diamond the corner a little bit more here in these SK modifieds. Kibbe has picked up the pace as well. This battle up here, this is second and third and fourth gap on your screen right now. And Kibbe making up the distance. You can see Shepard started in 5th, Lar in 7th tonight. Kibbe right where he started as Shepard speaking to the outside of the 26 here. The battle on for the race lead. And there he goes to the inside. Shepard takes the race lead at turn number 1. 98 car going to lead the first lap, his first lap of the race here as he crosses the start-finish line. Already got about a 4-car length gap in between himself and Moore in that 26. Moore dives it into turn 1, trying to retaliate. Not going to be able to do so. And he's just going to lose a ton of time. So new leader here very early on in the running in J.R. Shepard. Of course, we've said it the last 2 weeks in a row. Previous season's champion in all 3 divisions is that 98 machine. Coming off of turn 4 to lead another lap here. Our top 4 definitely gapped to the rest of the field. We're going to go on, follow Lil Jewel here in the number 5 car. As this 5-car pack trying to make up time to our race leaders. Liston in this 87 car trying to get up there and battle with that 5. Now Jewel, he's kind of plateaued right now. Of course, he started in 2nd after the 10-car invert on the grid. Top 10 gets inverted from 1st to 10th, 10th to 1st, and so on and so forth every week. At least those who show up every week. I think we've still yet to see a full 10-car invert here this season. Basically just a lot of single file racing. We saw just a second ago Charles Lar was trying to peek to the inside of this 14 machine. Kibbe, though, still in 3rd. Lar still back in the 4th position. A little bit of tap to the wall there from the 14 machine. Kibbe, not really going to affect his car that much with that light of a hit, but if he ends up hitting the wall a little bit harder than that, he can really damage that race car. Now these SK modifieds, these are they're pretty much tanks with Nerf bars. It does take a lot to hurt them, but if you mess that steering up, your night is going to be through. Here's your top 3 on the left-hand side of your screen and the gaps between them. Of course, Shepard still out front, Moore in 2nd, Kibbe in that 3rd position. Here goes Lar for the pass on Kibbe. Thought about it, backs off. Lets Kibbe have the bottom lane there on the entry into 1. It's just, you can see 3 different lines being run by these 3 competitors here on your screen. The 26, 14 into 4. You can see the 14's taking a more straight on approach, getting into the turn like all 3 of them did that time around. But here in turn 1, we've seen the 4 try to peek to the inside, turn in a little early, see if he can get a little advantage on entry on this 14. We've seen the 26 do the same thing to 14, run about a half lane off the bottom of the racetrack. Try to maintain the momentum all the way around the curves here. Something has happened to Jewel. Lil Jewel on pit lane. Not 100% sure what happened to that number 5 car. He's still sitting there on the pits. He's actually 6 laps down. He's been sitting here for a while now. So Jewel's night is going to be over. Could be a number of things. He could have forgot to put enough fuel in the car, or could be a whole slew of different things, but that's going to take him out of contention here tonight. Go back and look at Todd Liston in his 87 car, still in the top 5, or actually new to the top 5 since Jewel is out of the race. Chip Dickert in the 04 car. Started in 8th tonight, up to position number 6. Just completed a lap 30. We have 70 laps to go here at Martinsville. Kurt Smith has had a little bit of a struggle here tonight. Started in the 4th position all the way back into 7th spot behind this 04. He's got Brian Den right behind him, 23 car. We got to talk to him last week on the podium in that 23 machine. Matter of fact, let's go on board with the 23 of Brian Den as the racers are coming out of turn number 4. You can see not a lot of banking here in Martinsville, just enough to keep the car in the track. Oh, he actually Den just hits the curb there, loses some time to that 6 machine. Come up here on board with Kenny Kibbe as well in that 3rd position. Couple of laps here with that number 14 machine. But yeah, I mean, it's basically just been single file. Benazinga's kind of okay. Never mind. He was going in a turn there. Oh, I was looking. I was like, he's going kind of slow there on the straightaway, and I was like, oh wait, never mind. Never mind. Oh, Den going around the outside of Kurt Smith now for that 7th spot. He takes it away. We saw that as soon as we got back to the 04 car. So Den making his way back up through the field. Started in 6th, dropped a couple spots early on in the going. Bringing that black and gold machine back up towards the front of the pack. J.R. Shepard still out front. 1.3 second advantage over Donnie Moore. Kenny Kibbe in 3rd, chasing down this 26 car. And JR proving why he has been a champion previously here in the Outlaw Modified Series, the Motorcraft Quick Lane number 98. Just a dominant performance right now. Took over the lead about lap 15 from Donnie Moore and has not looked back. A lot of clean, good, hard racing between all of these competitors here tonight. Going to bring up our top 10 previous lap times. You can see the positions gained and lost on the left-hand side of your screen. Fastest car on the track, it was actually Charles Lahr last time by, with a 20.041, Shepard a 20.097. You can see Shepard's up 4 positions since the drop of the green flag. Smith, the 6th car, down 4 spots. Biggest gain, biggest losers so far in this race. looking for some tight battles here. Of course, back with the 04 to 23 into 6. That's really tightened up. 4 cars within a second of each other. Can almost throw a blanket over these 4 drivers. Back into turns 3 and 4 they go. Going to complete lap 42 at the start-finish line here. Dickert's 6.5 seconds behind our race leader, Benazinga, in 10th. Almost 15 seconds behind. Oh, Den almost into the outside retaining wall coming out of 4. Oh, he does get a little piece of it there. Going back with Smith. He retakes that 7th position away from the 23. 23 going to try to cross him over here. Back into 3 they go. 23 thinks twice about it. And Smith going to take back that 7th position away from Den. Good racing back here in the back of the pack. Just proves any mistakes you make can and will cost you positions out here on the racetrack. Back up here with Donnie Moore, our 2nd through 4th drivers here, all on your screen. Donnie, of course, started on the pole tonight, held the lead for a good 15 or so laps, surrendered it to the 98 car, but hasn't fell further than this 2nd position. Kenny Kibbe's been battling to stay in front of Charles Lahr this whole evening. Kibbe started in 3rd, still running there. Lahr, not sure what he's going to have to pull out of his hat if he wants to get up there and make the podium for the 2nd straight week in that 4 car. But I have a feeling as we get closer to the end of this race, the more and more we're going to see those drivers get a little bit more aggressive. We're going to be halfway this time by with the 98 of J.R. Shepard leading the most laps so far in this race.
All right, man.
Caution is out.
Caution is out.
We've got Chip Dickert on his lid. And here's the replay. Oh, him and Smith get together on the backstretch contact. The 04 goes flipping. Smith able to keep it going in the right direction. And Chip Dickert, unfortunately, going to have to take that back to the pit lane. I'm going to go on board with Kurt Smith. Just from that angle, it just looks like he just about got taken out. Chip Dickert still on the outside here as they enter into turn 1. Got loose, came down the track a little bit, and then goes flipping, keeps in it. Maybe the gas will help him flip back over, but it does not help him. So now we go live here, back with the field under pace here at Martinsville. First caution just past the halfway mark on the track here. And it's pretty much just been follow the leader for the first half of this race. Now that we are over halfway done, we should see some business starting to pick up here. Of course, don't know why that happened. Of course, the drivers, especially behind Shepard. Shepard's definitely got the car to beat here tonight. We saw that throughout the first half of this race. And these other drivers, especially towards the back of the pack, are definitely going to have to get the let out now. Of course, once again, a reminder, they cannot take tires if they do decide to come in and pit. So that is a big no-no. Of course, they will get parked if they do. So everybody is all on 50-lap green flag run tires right now. I'm pretty sure that right front is crying, saying, please change me now. Change my tire. A lot of heat was built up into these tires as well throughout that whole run. A little bit of cool-off time for them. Now we re-rack the field. Out of turn number 2, lights are off for the pace car. The 98 of J.R. Shepard going to have command of the field. Into turn 3, he brings the field. Kibbe trying to get tucked in behind him. Here we go.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. We are back underway here. Donnie Moore got an incredible start on the high side in that 26 car. Can he make the move? He went a little bit too wide there to get back to the right-hand side of the 98 car. 98 now putting the gap on that 26 as he's pushing it. Lahr up the racetrack. Den right behind him. Brian Den, where did he come from? He's up into P4 now. Charles Lahr falling back, trying to get in front of Liston. As business has picked up, ladies and gentlemen. Den now up into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Make that P4 in that 23 machine. Here goes Lahr. He's going to peek to the inside. No, he thinks twice about it. Right behind him, you got John Hine and Ben Izinga doing battle as well. More side-by-side action throughout the rest of the pack. Smith of the Kurt variety going to have to tuck in behind that 75 of John Hine. Really haven't called out his name too much here tonight. We know John here at OCTV. It's good to see him back out on the track here. Going back up towards the front. Donnie Moore still in second. Almost a whole second gap between him and our race leader. Kibbe still in third. Den, and then it's Lahr. Trying to get back to the 23s inside here. Backs off. 40 laps to go. 39 this time by. Time is starting to wind down, run out for a couple of these drivers. Impressive drive, though, from Brian Den. That was incredible on that restart. To move himself up into fourth. The track position is key. Where in the world did Lahr go? Lahr, he has fallen back. I'm going to take an instant replay on Lahr here. Not sure exactly what happened to him. It just looks like he decided to go ahead and just pull over. Excuse me. So Charles Lahr now out of the race. Chip Dickert as well on pit lane. Now Chip can get back out there. Actually, I believe Chip is back out on the racetrack. Yes, he is. After flipping and everything, puts that SK Modified back out there on the racetrack. Lahr still in pit road right now. Going back to Donnie Moore up here. Top 3. See, Shepard's already put over a second gap on the rest of the field. Our drivers here, Moore, Kibbe, and Den. Den's actually looking to the inside of Kibbe for third, coming out of turn number 2. Yeah, he's definitely gotten the let out in that 23 car. And he is driving that black and gold machine hard. Kibbe diving it in there. Rolls to center a little bit better than the 26 did that last time in turns 3 and 4. Working their way out of turn number 2. Den going to tuck back in behind Kibbe for that 4th position. Still the closest battle on the track. You can see our race leader, J.R. Shepard. He is just completely gone right now. Completing yet another lap here, lap 68 in the books, starting lap 69. 31 laps to go for our race leader. Let's go on board with Brian Den once again here, as he's back here battling with this 14 car. You can see he's definitely got he's trying to keep an eye on the inside of the racetrack. Oh, he hits the curbing. Gets the car a little unsettled. Gonna lose a little bit of time to that 14. Right now, only 8 cars left on the lead lap here at Martinsville. Less than 30 laps to go. I don't think anybody has anything for J.R. Shepard right now. The gap has just been consistently growing and growing lap after lap here at the paperclip. Yeah, Den's he's burning it. He's burning it up, man. He's trying to get there. I don't know if he's just thinking, you know, waiting for a mistake from Kibbe. Kibbe's been pretty consistent here tonight. I don't know if he's still waiting on that mistake or what's happening. John Hine and Kurt Smith both on the pit lane. John Hine actually coming out of pit lane now. Kurt Smith, he was on pit lane for a stop earlier. I believe he might have just had a fast repair done. In that 7th position, John Hine going to be our first car 1 lap down in the 8th position. Donnie Moore got some the ASPCA on his Irwin Tools number 26. Great cause there. I mean, these three drivers, if one of them makes a mistake, the other 2 are going to have to really hope that they do not get caught up in that same mistake. I mean, if the 26 goes around here, the 14 into 23 more than likely will be in it, as close as these drivers are to one another. And I mean, look how close their lap times are too. Kibbe, of course, with the fastest one with a 0.72. Donnie Moore with a 0.99 and a 1.15 from Den last time around. Less than 25 laps to go. Actually make that 22 as they stand here at one of the toughest tracks on the NASCAR circuit. Because SK Modifieds, they always put on a good show here at Martinsville, and tonight has been no different. A great show, great showing for especially that 98. J.R. Shepard want to go ahead and shake the rust off, get that first checkered flag here on the season. He's definitely well on his way to do that. 20 laps to go at the start-finish line for J.R. Shepard. Great recovery from the 17 of Ben Izinga. I mean, he was riding around in 10th and 11th pretty much the whole race. And then that caution is definitely what he needed. The driver of the lime green machine right there. He needed that caution, brought him back up to 6th. Of course, other people's misfortune has helped him as well. Dickert and Smith, who's still right behind him. That incident bringing out our only yellow flag of the evening so far. With less than 20 laps to go, there's not really any room for error here for the rest of these competitors. Todd Liston has been silent but deadly here. Running in the top 5 now, in which I would think is a Wild Cherry Pepsi machine. Very clean, I might add. Been quiet, started in 9th position, has worked his way all the way up into the top 5. So another good run, another kind of silent night for this 87 machine of Liston. I know week 1 he was towards the front. Week 2, I don't believe he was out here last week. I may be wrong, but I don't remember seeing his name on the driver roster last week at Myrtle Beach. So, still a great showing from that 87 machine. Now, Kibby's put some distance between himself and that 23 Den. I think he's overdriving that car just a little bit. Kibby now still in that 3rd spot. Still cannot figure out how to get around Donnie Moore, who's been in front of him this whole race just about. Ever since lap 15, all he's seen is the letters ASPCA on the back of that 26 car. So Kibby, I'm pretty sure he's ready for a change of scenery. Now, has he saved up enough of that number 14 to attack this 26? As we can see now, he's starting to lose some time to that 26. Actually, it looks like Donnie Moore had a little bit of a bobble in the middle of 3 and 4 that time around. Down the backstretch they go, closing in on 10 laps to run. Shepard almost a 3-second advantage. Still running sub 20 lap times. Everybody's been right there at the 22nd bracket. And J.R. Shepard still out front, still running that underneath that 27th bracket. We're going to go on board with Kibby as he's still trying to chase down this 26 car. Looking throughout the rest of the pack, it doesn't look like there's many close battles going on. Again, only 7 cars left on the lead lap. Only 11 started tonight. Not a huge field with 10 to go now. Can J.R. Shepard maintain that gap? 9 laps left. Kibby, he's got to do something. He's trying to enter in turn 1 wide there. Kind of shorten his radius off of 2. Maintain some RPM, extra RPM in that motor to get back up to this bumper of the 26. It hasn't worked out too well for him so far. Still about a car length separates 2nd and 3rd place. And you can see that, actually that goes all the way back to Liston, so we're going to put it up here. Den, just about a second off of our 2nd place machine as well. Looking at lap time, still a scorcher out here. Izinga, a sub 20 lap time last time by. Up 4 positions tonight. Him, Liston, and Shepard all gaining 4 spots here tonight. It looks like Smith has just gotten around Izinga. Actually, Izinga, he lost a ton of time there for some reason. He was just running in 6th. Not 100% sure what happened to him. 5 laps left to go. And Donnie Moore still in 2nd. J.R. Smith out in front. 4 laps left. He's got the lap car of Chip Dickert right in front of him. Not a lot of time left. Kibby's going to have to put together one last assault if he wants to get up here and get around that 26 car. Kibby, I believe, is just going to fall short. 3 laps left. Not a lot of time. Yeah, he's pretty much used up what he's got. You can see the gap starting to spread here between that 14 and the 26 car. But J.R. Shepard, 2 laps to go. As that number 98 started in the 5th position, of course, up 4 spots. He's going to come out of turn 4 this time. 98 J.R. Shepard takes the white flag here at Martinsville. Race number 3 on the season, about to come to an end here. And what a dominant performance out of that number 98 car. J.R. Shepard down the backstretch for the final time tonight. Into 3 he goes. Coming out of turn number 4, down the front stretch at the start-finish line. He is your race number 3 winner, J.R. Shepard. Donnie Moore still stayed in front of Kenny Kibbe. And just a really smooth night of racing. J.R. Shepard, your race winner. Congratulations goes out to that 98. The first of maybe many here this season. Gonna park it at the start-finish line. And do the gentlemanly thing and get out. So, our race results here. You got J.R. Shepard, Donnie Moore, Kenny Kibbe, Brian Den, Todd Liston, Kurt Smith, Ben Azinga, Chip Dickert, John Hine, Charles Lahr, and Lowell Jewell. Alrighty, well, let's see here. Definitely, I'm going to bring up a couple of the drivers to get their post-race interviews. I don't see Donnie Moore in there, so hopefully he gets the team speak and gets in here pretty quick. But while we wait on him, we're going to bring in our 3rd place finisher tonight, the number 14, Kenny Kibbe. You got a copy there, bud?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Man, I tell you what, I could tell that you were giving it your all back behind the wheel of that F14 car tonight. You just couldn't do anything with that 26. Still, a top 3 finish is nothing to shake a stick out here tonight.
Yeah, you know, at this track, I just don't know how to really generate good runs off corners and really finish passes like JR can. And I got decent running speed, but I didn't have enough to really set up a pass and complete it.
Well, you could see there towards the end of that run that you were trying to do something a little different. You were trying to kind of enter in a little higher into 1 and 3, maybe diamond off the corner out of turn 2 and 4. Did that help you out any, or were you just still stuck in the same rut?
Yeah, I mean, I tried all kinds of stuff. I tried to run just low. I tried to back up my entry and diamond the corner. I tried to run it all high, and seemed like I would gain a little bit on Donnie, then he'd pull away, and then we'd kind of go back and forth, and I just did everything I could, just not fast enough. And Donnie's really good at defending his position too, and that didn't do me any favors.
Well, a top 3. I believe it's the first time we talked to you in the booth, or the second time. I can't remember.
Yes, first time. Haven't had a great start to the season, so hopefully we can get on a chain of podiums.
Yeah, well, hopefully this turns your momentum to the good here tonight. You got any thank yous, any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
I'd just like to thank my friends and family who tune into these races, and thank you guys at Off Camber for making the broadcasts, and everybody at the Bootleg Racing League. It's a real fun, competitive league, so yeah, it was a decent night.
All right. Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish, Kenny Kibbe, the number 14 car. Our 3rd place finishers don't see our 2nd place finisher in the team speak. So we're going to go ahead and bring him in. We've talked to him every single week so far, but this time he gets the ultimate prize, the checkered flag for the 98 of J.R. Shepard. You got a copy there, bud?
Yeah, I got you, Wes.
Man, I tell you what, lap 15 took over the lead, never looked back, and just a dominating performance here tonight out of that 98 car.
Yeah, I really enjoy racing at Martinsville. It's a very technical track, and it's one of those things where you really got to take care of your tires. And you know, early on you can kind of hug that rim around the inside, but as the laps count down, you better start arcing it in late and try to save that right front up off the corner.
Yeah, I was noticing you doing that earlier in the run in the race. You know, you were pretty much a whole half a lane to a lane up on entry than most of the other guys out here. You know, you started out of the 5th position tonight. Did that help you, you know, get your car to the front?
Yeah, I think definitely having that inside line helped out a lot, especially on the restart later on also. But yeah, you really gotta take care of your tires in these SK modifieds. They're sluggish up off the corner, so if you burn that right front tire off and start pushing a little bit, you're going to lose a lot of lap time. So you really got to take care of it.
Well, I mean, ain't really much more to say. I mean, you didn't really have lap traffic was not an issue. You know, you had a caution there at the middle of the race. You know, a little mid-race break, catch your breath and everything, get you a little bit of fluid in you, and then, you know, you pretty much put it back on the boys. I mean, you know, you were about 4 or 5 seconds ahead at the first caution. You finished 3.6 seconds ahead of second place tonight. I mean, just an awesome performance. Well done.
I appreciate it, man. It's a little bit of a low turnout tonight. It's getting to be middle of the summer, so you know, people are off doing things, but I'm sure the next couple of weeks we'll get some more people in here, and yeah, we'll have some interesting races for sure for the rest of the season.
All right. Well, any thank yous and shout outs you want to give to commemorate this first checkered flag of the season?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Joel for everything he does this Bootleg Racing League, allowing us to do this each and every week. It's a lot of fun. We got a great group of guys that we race with, and yeah, congratulations to Donnie and Kenny for finishing on the podium there, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, 10-4, bud. Well, congratulations for the first, I'm sure of, it's going to be a couple of them this season. The 98 J.R. Shepard, your winner here at Martinsville. And that's pretty much gonna do it for us here tonight from the Martinsville Speedway. Next week we got, we got another Outlaw Modified Series race powered by the Bootleg Racing League. 9 o'clock Eastern. We should have Dylan back on the cameras because I'm pretty sure I did a pretty crappy job. But still just a dominating performance from J.R. Shepard, Donnie Moore, the only two to lead laps here tonight. Kenny Kibbe had a great run as well. Brian Dent out of nowhere recovers for 4th, and Todd Liston in that 5th position just takes the cake here tonight. It's been a lot of good, clean racing so far these first 3 weeks. Of course, like JR said, car count's a little down, but hopefully, if he's optimistic about it, I'm going to be optimistic about it. Hopefully we get some more cars out here, maybe some more beating and banging. And maybe somebody to give JR a run for his money there for a back-to-back championship here in the Outlaw Modified Series. So for myself, we are off Camber TV, and we will see y'all next Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, for race number 4. Y'all have a great week. Take care, and we will see y'all next week.